Podcast. Podcast.
So I was looking back at that first episode we did. It seems we've already passed like the 1 year date since then. I know, right? It definitely seems like it has not been over a year.
I know, man. I'm like coming up on like emails and like statements that are like a year later, like looking at even thinking like it's going to be October and writing the number 10 down. When I write the dates down, I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Where did the year go? Crazy.
I mean, so I got to ask, you guys just did that, was it Blue Ridge Festival?
Yes.
How was it? Are we back, or was it like some sketchiness, or like what's going on with that? It looked fun.
It was really fun. Yeah. It felt like, the cool thing was when seeing everyone, like all the, especially like crew and just, other bands, it's like, we didn't even like, it never happened, you know. It was, which is a good vibe, but it was also eerie because you're like, it's like it picked up right where we left off, like, which was fun, but then you're also like, what happened in the last 2 years of our life? Because it feels like it didn't even happen. Like I called JoJo right when I got out of the band, because we're only doing 2 shows this year, so we just banded, didn't do any crew, and I remember getting out of the van and there's like dust everywhere and there's forklifts and people yelling, and I'm like, I never felt more calm and at home. I was like, this is
awesome.
It's like, I was like generator sounds, and it's early, and there's like the coffee that's like next to the stage, and it's just like whatever. But I was like, I miss it's so much stuff that I not that I took for granted, but I didn't realize. Like I appreciate so many little details now, and that was a really cool vibe. Was all the bands and crew, like, not that none of us all didn't appreciate the last decade, but like there was just a whole new level of appreciation and like calmness and humbleness in the backstage. And that was really nice.
Was that the festival that was, I don't know the name of the actual, was it the prison that Shawshank was filmed at?
No, that's Incarceration. So that was in Ohio.
Okay.
This one was in Virginia. Yeah.
Virginia. What's in Virginia?
That's pretty much it. Blue Ridge and a field. Yeah, and the Norva. They do have the Norva.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't really no shade to Virginia. I don't really.
No, yeah.
Nothing stands out.
I think there's a big military base. Pretty sure there's a big military base there.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, like stage wise and like music, like everything went smooth, or was it like, oh shoot, like which hand do I hold the mic with again? Like, was there any like weirdness, or was it just like
that
the click?
That was weird. Yeah, I think we didn't. Our stage, not that we looked bad on stage, but I think our stage presence was definitely like a 70%. Just because we were like, it was at like 70%, just because, like
a little out of practice.
A lot of because you can't practice for that. Like, like when you're at rehearsals, you don't have the adrenaline. Like you can't shoot yourself up with the adrenaline that gets you excited. So like, you can practice all you want, and I was like running and like thinking that was going to help my cardio, but like there's nothing like the actual thing. So like going out there, I like blew all my steam in like the first 30 seconds, and I was like, and I was like, oh my god, I was just so excited, and I was like, I haven't felt this adrenaline. It's funny because I was looking forward to that adrenaline rush, because there's nothing like it. Like, and I think anyone on tour would say the same thing. Like there's nothing like it for the show. It's like, you can't replicate that feeling. So that was one thing. And then the stage was ice a little bit. It was like so slippery.
Oh, no.
So that also did not help, because we're like trying to learn how to move again and also not eat shit. So I'm like trying to headbang and not fall, and just trying to headbang for the first time in 2 years.
Oh dude, so, the bang over must have been nuts.
Days.
Dude.
Saturday and Sunday, I was just like bedridden, like JoJo, and like picking up my daughter and just like sitting down. I was just like, yeah, it was bad.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad it went well, man. I mean, I saw photos and whatnot, and it looked fun. And I know I only have you for a little bit because you have, is it like a stream? Can you explain what you and the band is doing?
Yeah. So we partnered with Twitch last month. Well, we've been working on it for a long time, but it's soft launch this month. So the reason I'm saying soft is because we have festivals that like randomly happen this month, so it sort of screws up our first month schedule.
Okay.
But yeah, so we're working with Twitch now. We've had some really cool creative ideas that we've wanted to do to just like work with, because we never did the live stream or we didn't do any of that stuff while everyone was on pandemic, but we are going to be home for a while, and touring's going to be like here and there just because. So Justin has another baby coming, or not another, but Justin has a baby coming in November. So
Okay.
we're just like really trying to build our work on some stuff from home and like remote to work with fans. And yeah, we came up with this really cool it's Monday through Friday. It's like it'll be a full series for as long as we can do it. So we have a
Cool.
6-month schedule now, and then hopefully we'll do another 6 months. But we yeah, so everyone has a different episode.
I think I lost you.
Here and there about like instruments and playthroughs, and then everyone will also be doing sort of like tour chats, bringing in their best friends that they know, because everyone's in different cliques, which will be fun. And then BJ and Justin are doing some producer recording songs from scratch with fans, which will be exciting.
Okay.
And then what I'm doing, because I don't really have the producing background or that equipment, and I'm not like screaming along karaoke on there. So my which I'm excited about mine, because I was trying to do something a little different. So I've always been in charge of the art in the band. So what I want to do, and I've always wanted to do this, and the Twitch thing sort of just like made it actually come to life, was I'm sort of like going to, in a fun way, teach art.
Okay.
So a digital art for bands. So sort of show people and like do it with requests and talk with fans as I build it. But it'll be so we'll do like album art from scratch, like a test one, or do a t-shirt design from scratch, and maybe that's available to our subscribers for that month only. And they'll be able to do call outs and shout outs as I design it to like help me throw in some things. And then what I'm doing tonight though, tonight's my first art episode. So what we are doing, which is really fun, is I have this Dropbox folder of every Miss May I design ever made since 2007. Dude, there's some gnarly like there's some like big crazy weird stuff. So I'm gonna go in there and just open up the layers and sort of talk about like why we designed it and how it worked. And then if there's any like art nerds in there, I see what I'm really excited about is just giving back the knowledge, because I didn't get to go to art school, even though that's my full-time job. I learned from like, this is pre-YouTube. You remember these days. There was like, before YouTube, there was like tutorial websites. And I was like 13 and 14 years old, and I would just sit for hours and watch tutorial websites. And that's like how I learned how to use these programs. But it was watching other people just play on it. So that's what I want to do for fans. And if they're not interested, and they're not like an artsy fartsy like nerd, then we could like still have the interaction and make really fun stuff together.
Yeah, I mean, so, that's cool, because you know, like the art nerds that want to actually come and, you know, jam with you and like learn some techniques to, you know, maybe they want to be someone who designs, you know, merch for bands or whatever it may be. They can tune in for that and really, you know, note things down and whatnot. But then you're gonna have the diehard fans that just want to be there and be like, Levi, I love you.
Yeah.
No shade. I'm just saying, like, you're gonna have multiple people from, you know, whatever they're trying to do in there. So I like that idea. That's really cool. I didn't really know.
Thank you.
What you got. I mean, I saw, the reason I asked is because I saw it on your story, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, wonder what that is kind of the vibe on. So that's really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, our big twist on it too is and I know this is very hard, and we keep having these opportunities come up that we're like, no, let's just try a little bit different. Like, so everyone has their own solo channels, which is not technically associated with Miss May I one, which is totally cool. But our channel is going to be more about behind the scenes, like hang out with us, and not like the gaming side. So we're going to try to not use our channel as gaming, and the guys will have their like gaming or other things. Like what I'm going to be doing too is like web development and stuff on my own channel, and I really just want to like share my knowledge, because I work all day and make that stuff anyways. But yeah, when it comes to the band one, it'll be like, and I'm excited to teach local bands too, because that's the only reason I really learned how to do this stuff too, is because when we were 15, I couldn't pay someone $200 to do a design. So I had to like get a notebook paper out, and I'm like, okay, we're making our own t-shirt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do I get this from the notebook paper to the computer? And like, I had to learn all that as like a kid in high school, just like, how do they make those shirts? And I was like, oh, you scan it and then you redraw it again. Like that was all just like Googling and figuring it out. And that's how we made our first t-shirts. But I just want to show people that, because I know starting out a band, whether it's metal or not, it's a tight budget. So there's a lot of creative things you can do on the way.
Sweet. And I'll make sure to put in the show notes with the links, the link to the Twitch channel, so they can go and kind of just easy click to that. And I just wanted to ask, well, one, because I was interested, and two, wanted to kind of let people know why it's going to be a shorter episode, because you got to go, I mean, maybe 30, 40 minutes after this episode. So I just wanted to get that in there.
Yeah, and I got to test my audio. This is my first stream, so we'll see if it explodes or not. So let's hope it
you'll
goes
be
good.
good. You'll be good. You'll be good. And you know what? I'm sure they will let you know.
Oh yeah, they will not hesitate to let me know it sucks.
Yeah, but sure. So let's dive into it. The main reason, of course, besides the fact that I wanted to catch up with you a little bit and hear your sweet voice, the CBD company that you just released recently, right?
Yeah, so we have like so we had our soft launch. First week of October is when it really gets turned on with ads and stuff, which will be crazy. But so it's crazy, man. I feel it's really cool talking to you, because we've known each other before I started like Versa Limited, and then had Versa Limited, and like that whole ride. And it's the only reason I bring up Versa is, like, to me, this feels like my 2.0 of just like of where my growth went, and like why I've been MIA. Because I sort of didn't say I quit working on Versa. I just sort of like shut the lights off and then sold everything, and then that was it. So I never did a statement or anything. But the reason was like, I just wanted to sort of do something bigger and better than clothes, and not even saying better, just something, just something different. And because right when we closed Versa, we closed Versa at 9 years, so we almost made it 10 years. But then this opportunity came up, and I was like, Versa's
done for now.
Well, it's turned off. So everything has been sold. We still own all that stuff and like all the URLs, and we actually had a lot of people. I don't know. To me, it'll never be done, because
you'll come back, you'll revamp it. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So a lot of focus has been on this with the wellness company.
Absolute Aid.
Yes, so which means pure help, by the way.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Yeah,
so
pure help.
When you were saying, like you kind of wanted to kind of, I guess, lack of a better way of saying it, kind of grow up to a newer thing, your Versa 2.0 kind of vibe, like why CBD? Like there's so many companies out there that does CBD. Why did you feel like that was the route you wanted to go in?
Yeah. Wow. This is exciting, because this is my first interview about Absolute Aid. I know I'll do a lot of them, but this is exciting to like get to really. Well,
I love CBD and like some of the other products you mentioned via text, and hopefully we'll get to that, what you can talk about. But I love CBD. I use it a ton. So I was curious. So yeah.
So prior to CBD, I was really foreign to it. So just to rewind a little bit, when it got started. So how this all came about was, so I don't know if any fans listen to this. Like I was really big into, I still really am into it. I do it differently now. But I was always into fitness, and I was really big in the CrossFit, and I worked with this company, which the reason I worked with them over other companies is they were all about less ingredients, pure, like just straight to the point. Screw the flavoring, screw coloring, because like that's just filler stuff that you don't even need in your body. So like that's why I loved them, and became close with them over the years, working with their stuff. And then we not parted ways, but then life caught up, and we kept touring. They got bigger and bigger. Full circle came around. We were still friends, and they came to me for sort of for like a branding next level company idea. And so one of my friends, Alex Hamp, who if there's any metal heads in here, he was actually the drummer of War of Ages back in the day. Yeah, so that's cool. We never toured with them. That's just a cool little. We're both come from metal bands.
Yeah.
But he was, yeah. So he's like the rep and one of the main guys over there, and they had this new venture that they wanted to do, but it was sort of halfway there. It was the products were there, the ingredients were there, the resources were there, but to make the products and get the ideas going, that wasn't there, and that's where I came in. So I was like, I came in with them, and we all brainstormed. And the exciting thing about this company is the resources. So we have resources to pretty much everything. Like, and I know we mentioned this, like vitamins, proteins, seltzers, all that, CBD seltzers, all that. But what happened was, what do you do with all of those resources? Do you like slap a pot leaf and a Snoop Dogg's face on it and put it out at Speedway? Do you make it fudge flavored and do all this stuff? Or like, what do you do? And what we did, like you just said earlier, there's a ton of companies. So we're like, what's really different? And we thought back to like why I went to Purist, and we're like, let's just take all the junk out of it. And like, just really, since we have the resources to go straight to the core, let's just take the junk out and like make products that not only will help people, but it's not selling people. It's not filled with stuff. So if you look at our Absolute Aid CBD bites, they're not even flavored. It's the natural flavor of those elements together. And that's it. We stopped. Like there's no strawberry, there's no coloring. It's just the elements. And when you taste it, we did use monk fruit.
Okay.
So there's monk fruit made it a little sweet to take off the edge. But that also made it adhesive. But long story short, we have these great manufacturers, great resources, and the products we're working on is to help people, but and I know there's a million companies that are like organic, THC free, and yet there are companies that are that we love too that are doing the same thing. But yeah, we wanted to just create things and sort of make cocktails of things that are pure, and that's what we've been developing for the last 4 years. So when I spoke with you over text, like there's a list of crazy things, and everyone on this podcast, like we have, like I said earlier, we have vitamins that are coming out. We have normal workout supplements infused with CBD. We actually have a THC plant right now up in Oklahoma we're working with to also see what we can do with that. And then there's also more things that I can't talk about. But the really fun thing is that you get to take these ingredients, and we're working with this really awesome scientist out of Texas who's been doing this for like 40 years. And we will take the ideas and then he will experiment them, but it takes a long time and a lot of testing, and then there's a lot of back and forth. So that's why it's taken 4 years to just get the bites in motion. But yeah, it's been really exciting. But just to sort of get all the listeners excited, and give you guys sort of an idea of some future. Anyone working out there, if you take a recovery drink afterwards, what if that recovery drink had those elements to cure your muscles or repair your muscles and everything, but also had the relaxing effects of the strain of CBD with that? Why mix them both together? Why not have that pre-made and a powder already made with the CBD infused? And that's where our head's at, is like, how can we bring all these great things together to make something even better? So I'm
so in for sure.
And it's all natural. And another crazy thing, just to, I don't know, this one's actually a personal crazy thing. So I've always been excited about the brand. Like I got to name it. I did all the branding. I got to do the first few products. The crazy thing is, like, I knew CBD and I like tried our products, and I'm like, this is great, blah, blah, blah. But I also drank all the time. I smoked a ton of weed. I was like, so it was like, to me, it was like, and I'm saying this with like a grain of salt, but it's just my personal thing that was a realization recently. I looked at it as like a Bud Light or like a PBR. I'm like, I don't need CBD, blah, blah, blah. And then I've been going sober the last, I'd say like 3 months. And everyone dealing with mental stuff through this, it's been super hard because
for sure.
The crutch of going sober, it all hits you at some point in the day. And if you're trying to push through it, it's freaking hard.
Yeah.
And so I was doing that. And then while I was going through these horrible panic attacks, all this stuff, I was just trying to be like, I can push through this. Like, it's just anxiety. I need to get out. And it's all this, like, my demons, I need to get out of me. I got to finally experience CBD at its like pureness. And I got to try our relief CBD, and I got to try this stuff, not as a cocktail with a joint and like a tequila. I got to just that by itself. And I needed the help. And the amazing thing was like with a pure body and trying those products, it was like, I'm like such an advocate now because and anyone who does CBD knows this, but I'm like realizing for the first time, but it takes the party highness out of everything. You get to use the benefits of like the underlying benefits why you originally smoked the joint. Like the joint's like, there's underlying benefits of like, hey, I need to relax, hang with my homies. But then the other part of the joint is like, I want to rage with my homies too. But like that, it disappears. So I don't know. It's been really awesome. And that's happened the last few months, even though we've been working on this past 4 years. So I've like fell in love with the brand even more the last 3 months, which has been really, really exciting.
Yeah, that's incredible because I mean, I get an anxiety from time to time, just stress from, life, pandemic. It's been crazy. I mean, of course, I love to work out myself, as you know, and I'm sure some listeners might know as well. It's great for, muscle recovery and whatnot, but it's incredible for, kind of curbing any sort of anxiety or stress or anything. So I don't know. It's an amazing thing. And of course, that's another reason why I wanted to talk to you about it, because it's just such an incredible thing. And I feel like in a way it's still a tacky subject because it is, connected to, THC and all that. So people, I think it's coming around even more popular, but it's just going to keep growing and growing and growing. So I think it's just badass that you're doing this because it's so out of left field, like out of nowhere. I was like, what the hell? I was like, what the hell? Like, Miss May I vocalist, you're doing all the home renos, you're a family man, the Versa, even though it's on hold, and then boom, CBD going in THC, like some big boy shit.
Yeah, it's it's crazy too because the calls and stuff, like it is so big boy. Sometimes I'm like, I get imposter syndrome. I'm like, holy moly, this is crazy. But just so real quick to go back on where you said the tackiness, that was another reason when I got brought on board was our main goal, because we were like, how can we? Okay, and so this is great too for listeners and like why Absolute A also exists. So how I told you there, because I know we're not the only brand. We're not Mountain Dew. Like we're not the only product out there. There's plenty of other bites, there's plenty of lotions, but what we're trying to do is make it accessible and take the stigma away from it and let people know that it could be used for medicine. It doesn't have to have like Kush Clouds, Blue Dream with Snoop Dogg, but it's like the relief bites. So when we went to do that, we were like, if you were a parent taking your kids to a soccer game and you were stressing because of work, like what could you pull out of your bag to where you would feel comfortable like having? And because I had the stigma on CBD stuff, because I was like, oh, there is Delta 8, there is CBD, but it's in these like cheesy smoke shops. And I'm like, I don't even want to walk into that smoke shop. Like I heard the product's really nice, but I don't want to go in there. So we were like, how do we get to the masses without that stigma? And that's one of our biggest messages, is like we want to sort of break the stigma of this amazing wellness that exists. And because even like my in-laws and aunts and uncles, like people trying it, you get the scoff when you say it. You're like, hey, I'm working on CBD, and like, okay. And I'm like, no, listen, like just try the product. And the funny thing is, all of our products, when we had samples, they're all in black bottles because we had no label, so everything's blacked out.
Sketchy.
From the manufacturer. Yeah, it looks sketchy. And I'm like, no, try this. And then like my father-in-law, who's had arthritis forever, he tried our pain lotion, and now he flies through it. I give him bottles all the time because he like uses it every morning. And I'm like, he's like, this is insane. I'm like, I know, man. I'm like, and you never bought it. He never bought it because like the ones that were available were either like like prescribed around here because it's not legal, or they were in like cheesy smoke shops. There's no gray. You can't go to Walmart and get it, or you can't go to Speedway and get it. It was like there's all these tacky things, and I'm like, there's such good technology and good science behind this stuff. How do we get that out there? That was another main goal for our company, and that's what I was saying previously. Our new products, our first products, do have CBD infused, but we also have products coming up that have no CBD, no THC, and they're just for straight wellness. But it goes back to our core values of like, we took out the flavor, we took out the colors, so it's going to look white. It's going to be or actually, there's some stuff that's like a weird color because you don't add color to it.
Okay.
But we're like, we'll do that vitamin. Like, we'll do the vitamin that looks like an off red, like even though everyone else's is like normally white because we're not bleaching it. And it's just like, just give the person the actual elements. So that's our main focus. We'll see how it works because obviously people like sugary fudge, banana, strawberry stuff. But the older I get, the more I'm like, please just give me what's good for me and take out the stuff. Like, I'll power through it. Like, I just don't want to have crap in my body anymore because I feel the repercussions the next day after that.
Yeah. I mean, if it's just for the gummies example, I mean, yeah, of course we all like the delicious, gummy pop in and you want to keep chewing on it because it tastes so good. But it's like, come on, it's a gummy. Just smack it down, swallow it, get it over with. Like, everyone's gonna get over that real fast, I bet.
Yeah, and like I said, it's still it tastes natural. Like I love, and I know you have to get to this point. I feel like, or everyone has their own perspectives, but like I love going to like juiceries or going somewhere and like tasting that something tastes good for me. Like there's this tastes great, or this tastes good for me. Like that is two different tastes. That's honestly two different things. And we're trying to do the good for people. And I'm also just excited to just all of the companies we've been a part of have been to make the world a better place and for people. And this one's really exciting. And I guess this is the real answer of like going 2.0 Versa, because like Versa was all about pushing people that they could do stuff, do what they want. It's about ambition. That was it. And this is about like helping your mental health, helping your physical, like it's all about helping people. We have scholarship ideas lined up. We have all like,
cool.
This isn't for us to like, this isn't like to change my life brand. This is just a brand that we had access to all these resources and we just want to like help people. And the exciting thing about this brand too is it's the first brand that's not like, it's not the only thing to where like it's so stressful and like keeping the lights on. It's like everyone that's working on this and all of our partners, we have other things we're doing, but we all are passionate about helping people. And this whole thing got created just helping people. So there's a lot of strings attached and anxiety attached to it, because if people don't want the help, that's fine. I'm not going to stress about it. We just want to give you at least access to pure help.
That's awesome. Damn, dude. So, wow, I have to take that in for a second. That's awesome. I mean, that's gonna be another reason why it's gonna work. You got the product. It's, no filler, no crap in it. It's just straight, helpful ingredients, whatever you're putting in it. But, also what you were just saying, everyone is in it basically just to help other people. They're fine on their own, like yourself. You got things going on. You'll be fine. Even if you didn't even start this company, you're fine. You're good. But the fact that, you're going forward and you're like, hey, we have this product. It's amazing. Let's bring it to people because we know that it's going to help them in their daily lives, whether it's back pain or arthritis or anxiety, stress. I think it's going to go really far because people attach themselves to products and brands, not only because of their product, but because of the people that run it and their kind of ideals on, why they have this company in general.
Yeah, thank you, man. That's what, and I wouldn't honestly want to be a part of anything this time in my life that isn't like that. Cause I've been down every road you can think of. So like when this came up and it was like, hey, this is all about helping people, like getting there. There's not a lot of strings attached. Like, let's just put this out there and here's like, it's really exciting. Cause like on our point of view, it's like looking at a PDF of 1,000 ingredients and we get to create amazing things. And that's what was just, I don't know, that's what made me want to be a part of it. Because obviously there was a phone call to bring me on this great adventure, and I could have said no, but like after I looked into it and felt about it, and I even talked to JoJo. This was way before we were even pregnant or even thinking about moving back. Like this was, like I said, like 4 years ago. I sat there and I was like, this is really cool. Cause like, yeah, bites are our first thing, but like, what if we create something that's never been created? And there is a product we're working on that's like no one's made. I'll text you about it after. Sorry guys listening. But it's like there's little things we're doing that I'm just like, this is exciting to see what happens. So I don't know. I'm really excited for the ride and anyone we can help along the way. And yeah, it's gonna be really fun. And it's my baby. I got to brand it, so every time I get to see it pop up, I'm like, oh, I love that.
The site is I mean, obviously I looked at the site. I love the site, like all the branding. It looks great for sure. So props to that.
Thank you.
There's one other. This might take us to the end because I mean we're a little over 30 minutes. We got like 45 minutes because I want to make sure you have time to check your audio for your Miss May I stream.
Oh, thank you.
I was curious about because eventually you're going to the having the THC products, but also the CBD. What's the kind of like? What's a good way to phrase this? Like any crazy hoops you have to go through because you are doing a company that, well, THC, CBD, states laws, federal laws. Like, is it kind of crazy or is it like just submit paperwork, you're good to go, like create?
It is very crazy. We have a person on our team that's all they do is make sure we got the green light. But that it's cool you say that because that was another one of our main things too is US and knock on wood, hopefully worldwide shipping is obviously this doesn't include the THC brand or the THC wing of stuff later down the road, but like the CBD and supplements, because what we want to do is push like umbrella our CBD with our wellness because that's obviously a wellness product. And I always felt that it never felt like it was accessible across the US. Like I would see really cool ads or something on Instagram, but being in Kentucky or wherever, I'm like, I would never even think about going to the store and ordering because I just wasn't educated that I could even access those products. So that was another thing that really perked up my ears was like knowing that we could ship to all 50 states our CBD product. And like, I never knew that.
I didn't either.
Like, yeah, dude. So I thought there were all these walls and they're like, oh no, like we just had to do legal stuff to make it happen. But knowing that when we got through that, that was another exciting thing to do this because it's going to we're hoping to open up people's eyes that way too, to be like, hey, I know you're in Virginia or in West Virginia or in Maine and you do have headaches or you do have this, like we ship everywhere. It's okay. And if you want to subscribe, you'll have it the first week every single month. Like, so that's another thing. We want to show people that it's accessible all across the US. So that's something we're going to be pushing really, really hard.
Yeah. Cause like I mentioned earlier, I'm in Idaho now. It's not, well, at least, THC isn't, you can't just go out and buy it. Luckily, I mean, I'm only like 35 minutes away from Spokane or maybe like 25 to the border. And it's kind of fun. On the border between Post Falls and Spokane, Washington, there is a dispensary right there. But I'm also, but part of me is like, oh, dude, there's going to be some cops waiting there. Like as soon as you leave, and they see you going back into, Idaho, you're going to get pulled over real quick. And it doesn't help that I still have California plates on. So,
yeah. No, for sure. But it's probably not a problem for you to get like CBD at like a smoke shop or something.
I don't know. There is an abundance of smoke shops here. I don't know how, but there is, it's quite insane. You go into like one of those little, like outdoor malls. It's not really a mall, but like Walgreens and there's like a Halloween store, like one of those little strips.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, there might be like at least two. They're everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I haven't really gone in there. Like there was only one company that I would really buy my CBD from, but now that you're doing this, oh dude, I'm hopping on there as soon as possible. and
Oh,
I'm
thank you,
getting
man.
some of that.
I'll have to get you a care package so you could try it out and let me know how you think.
Dude, I mean,
the lotion is my favorite. I love the bites, but the lotion.
okay. See, that's the thing. I love the bites. Um, I guess I've never, maybe I'm not a big lotion guy just in general. Like, yeah, I guess maybe because I work out, like I want to keep my hands calloused.
Well, here's the
But
thing.
yeah.
I wasn't a lotion guy either, especially with the thing. So I don't use it. So this is a really cool thing. I think you could do it with all CBD, but I know ours is um, engineered to do this. But it's one of the really cool things that we ran tests on with ours. Yeah, it does deep muscle, which is why I never used CBD stuff because I don't have deep muscle pains. I'm not like powerlifting all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But what it does do, which I feel like every single person in the world needs, and they don't know that they can use it for this. And when it's on our label, is if you use our lotion on your temples, it will go in deep into your muscles, and it will relieve your migraines and tension headaches instantly.
Oh.
And that is, to me, the biggest game changer because that completely eliminates taking toxic like ibuprofen or Advil just because you have a headache. Like if you don't have enough water and you're like, oh, I should probably drink water, but I have this migraine because I didn't drink water. Like those little sharp pains you get, this stuff instantly. You put it on your temples, wash your hands, you give it 30 seconds and that migraine. Wow. And Ryan, so someone in our band, he's hardcore migraines and has taken prescription migraine medicine. And he had a migraine at our house when he was here. And it was when we were running tests. And I was like, oh my gosh, try this. And it was so awesome to see him instantly get relieved because the last 10 years, I would see him lay down with his hands on his head, waiting for his medicine to kick in. And this is 30 seconds, take the edge off, get rid of that headache. And that's what I think is going to change the game because it's so innovative to use it that way.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll give the lotion some try. I'll
do it for headaches. I'm telling you, bro. I don't use it for anything else. I don't have arthritis or anything. But man, anytime I have a headache or if I'm stressed, I just rub on my temples, maybe a little on my forehead, and just oh man, it's like you're going to a spa. It's such a nice release.
Damn. Yeah. I mean,
it's non-toxic, man. There's no toxic ibuprofen side effects. There's nothing happening in your liver. It's so nice, man.
Dude, yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited to try. Well, not only just the lotion, but I mean all the products that you have to offer. And I mean, I'm excited for, well, like I just said, trying the products and then seeing as these new products start rolling out and just how the growth is going to happen. I'm so stoked because you like to see your friends succeed, and when they come out with a company like this, you kind of even want to push for it even more because it's not only just your homie doing good work for the people, people are going to actually start feeling better with, the muscle pains or the stress and anxiety. It goes so much further. And I'm just super, super stoked for you, man. And I'm definitely,
you're giving me goosebumps over here. I appreciate that. Thank you, man.
So, well, we're probably on the way out of this because you got something coming up and I'm sure we could talk longer. We'll have a round 3 maybe down the road when you have some more stuff out. And actually maybe after I try the product.
Yeah, I would love that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
We'll follow up.
So let's see here. I mean, like I usually do, I put show notes, all the links, but just rattle off a quick few things where you want people to go and check the stuff out, the band, Absolute Aid, all that stuff.
Yeah. So Absolute Aid, it's absoluteaid.com. All of our socials are at Absolute Aid. Yeah, check that out. We have a VIP program we're launching this week and a variety pack we're launching this week, which will be really exciting. So that I don't know when this episode's coming out, but it's going to be sick. So keep an eye out for that. And then, check. We're going to be live throughout the week. All members of Miss May I on different schedules, and the schedule will be posted on missmayi.live. So check that out, guys. And yeah, we have one more festival this year. So if you're not coming to Rebel Rock down in Florida, sorry we missed you, but we do have something really cool coming early next year. So just hold tight. And album-wise, it's finished. Ooh. But that's all I can tell you.
I mean, honestly,
it's going to come out in a long,
it's better than not saying anything. Gets people excited.
Exactly. Sweet. It's finished, and yeah, I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, I'll let you go. Get your thing on. Have fun with your stream. Everyone go check that out for sure. Whenever you said every day this week.
Yeah, Monday through Friday.
So,
we take the weekends off.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, plenty of time to go check it out. Thanks again for taking time out of your day to chat with me. Always fun.
Anytime, brother. I appreciate it.
All right, cool. Take care, man.
See you, man.
The Daily Podcast. The Daily Podcast.